I'm still not used to your cold weather.
That's
To the cold over here, bro.
Oh yeah,
still-
you're back in it. Two episodes in a row.
2 episodes in a row, man.
How
do you feel?
How do I feel?
Yeah.
I feel great, bro. Start signing great.
You gonna stay consistent?
Huh? Of course.
I don't know about that, bro.
No, of course, man.
Also, of course, a friend of mine, they were saying that you've been missed, bro.
I missed.
Yeah, everyone calls you mysterious.
Don't kill me.
Like someone said, like, oh, like the other day, like someone messaged me, like, I forgot what did they say. Naps was so mysterious. Like, when is he coming back? So they're gonna be surprised hearing you 2 episodes in a row, bro.
Go on, man. They don't think they're hearing voices. But yeah, I can't even. I'm just happy to be back. I'll be honest. It's nice.
How is it like? What's the word? You've been back a couple.
I've been back now. Yeah.
Weeks? Is it weeks now?
Weeks now. Yeah, a few weeks now.
Yes.
I don't know, man. I was ill and I'm still kind of recovering in it, but like the change of wind, I don't know how to explain it. It's just throws you off.
Hey, here, man.
Huh?
The change of what?
The change of wind, innit?
What does that
What
even
does that
mean?
even mean, bro?
Like it's hot air down there and then it's colder air up here, innit? In England, so it's it throws me off a bit.
Man, a change of wind is interesting.
Change of wind. That's
that's
a phrase, innit? I done geography in GCSE. That's a real phrase.
What did he say earlier? That us black people have a gene that stops us from getting malaria.
No, it doesn't. No, white people are more likely to get malaria when they go to Africa than black
Where do you
people.
hear that from?
Yeah, where'd you hear that?
Who's your source, bro?
Who.com.
Trust me, bro.
Who?
Who.com.
Yeah, they're in charge of like
World Health Organization.
Yeah.
World
There you
Health
go, bro.
Organization.
Check it.
World Health.
I might be lying, I don't know, but check it.
You're definitely capping. Bro, on the way here, bro, on the train, this fashion woman came up to me and she said,
No, she didn't, bro.
Bro, ask questions,
Yeah,
bro. We're on the train sitting down. She's like, where do you get your jumper from? I was like, weekday. She's like,
Oh,
I knew
weekday's
it.
cold, yeah.
Yeah, weekday's cold.
That's
We
weekdays.
spoke about
These
that.
are weekdays,
Where
yeah.
did I?
Jeans from weekday.
Yeah, space, yeah.
Yeah.
The Cosmo
Oh, yeah,
ones
yeah,
are
yeah,
too.
yeah, you
The
can't
Cosmo
get
ones
them,
are
you can't get them,
crazy.
you can't get
So I
them.
went for
Yeah.
space, yeah.
What the hell is space?
The name
Oh,
of
the
the
colour.
jeans. No, the
yeah,
name,
yeah.
the name.
I thought you meant space as
Like
in
the
like the amount of
size.
space inside.
Yeah, it's the size.
Is it?
So like this is called space. 'cause
There's
it's not-
galaxy
Like
as
the,
well.
like the baggy.
And then you got Cosmo, which are like massive.
Yeah,
And
then
you got
there's
the Galaxy.
and
you
then
got-
Astro.
And
That's the
Astro,
one
yeah.
I want Astro.
you want like
Yeah, I want that as well.
baggy.
Nah. Astro is like
Astro, I think Astro is just a bit bigger than
just a
space.
bit, yeah.
Yeah.
still too big baggy for me, man.
Nah, bro. But
Dry fit, bro. It goes
no,
along.
dry
fit.
fit. Yeah,
I like
dry
dry
fit.
fit.
That's what I'm saying. Like, if I'm not wearing baggy, I'm wearing dry
I'm
fit.
wearing, yeah.
That's actually like I don't wear tech anymore. I don't wear
The slim jeans thing, I think I'm done with that. I don't know. I only have like
Yeah,
one
yeah,
pair of slim jeans left.
I don't know.
Nah,
I
there's
was
too much.
never-
Like, I can't lie, because like you see when you're walking, yeah, and like you look down,
Yeah.
at your feet.
Feet.
The way that the trousers
Sits on the shoe.
sits on the shoes is very important for me, you know.
Nah,
Yeah.
same. But
Because like when it looks meaty to me, I
Even
think-
even me, I feel like these shoes they're much more narrow than I thought they would be. I like wearing like bigger shoes when I have jeans
Like
like
wider,
this.
yeah, wider shoe, yeah.
Like your ones are
Proportions,
wide
bro.
enough. I'd even say like, you know the Puma RS X's.
Yeah.
Shoes like that, stuff like that.
Hey, fashion guys, bro. You guys should be on fashion.
What did she
What's
say?
it,
What
Paris-
she just said where you get
Paris
your jumper
Fashion
from?
Week?
Yeah, Paris Fashion Week, London Fashion Week. Yeah, was it Paris Fashion Week?
Yeah. Is that the one now where like they have
Yeah.
like,
Well,
Louis
Paris
Vuitton?
Fashion
That's the
Week
one-
sounds weird though. It doesn't sound like
Paris Fashion Week. Yeah, that's the
That's
the
the one.
name,
That's the
innit?
one. Yeah, that's
the big
That's
one.
the one they were
Yeah,
getting.
that's the big one. Yeah.
Yeah.
And they have one in Milan as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, she asked me like, oh, where's this from? I was like, weekday.
Yeah, that's the
How much
weekday,
is it?
yeah.
A lot.
It's cold.
It's 57 retail, but I got it
Yeah.
off Vinted.
you
New
got
with
Vinted,
tags,
yeah.
35. So I got it for 20 pounds
that's
cheaper,
cool,
bro.
that's not
Vinted
bad.
is the way you need to go. And then she like, oh, she loved my outfit. I was like, oh, I love your gazelles, bro. She's wearing some
Swear.
Adidas gazelles, was green, blue stripes, beautiful stuff.
I'm a crazy guy, but I've been feeling I don't know how to pronounce it. Asus.
Ace, yeah, bro. That's
Yeah.
Asics, bro.
Yeah, Asics.
Show it to the camera, bro.
not moved.
They're cold still.
My girlfriend got it for me, man.
They're not too bad.
Shout out to her.
Here, man.
But I was thinking, I was thinking though, like, in terms of like when she asked me
Is that paid
like,
promo?
What?
Shout out your girlfriend now.
Paid promo is crazy. Why are you phrasing like that? That's crazy. I was thinking though, like, even like when I look at the way I dress and that, I was thinking like, before I knew what it means to be a Christian, I wouldn't think like a Christian can dress like this. I feel like you gotta wear like
Button
turtleneck,
up.
some suede shoes or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, But yeah, I never really thought about that. But I realized that.
You think this could be a way of relating and
literally
evangelism, bro.
It creates a comfortable like atmosphere
social
before you even
media.
start.
Social media. In 2911 employees calling. Hi Hannah. You're on the episode. Say hi.
Oh, hi everyone.
You don't normally sound like this.
Word, bro. Be confident.
I'm outside. I'm just raining.
Do you know? Are you in the right place? Is there like a truck in front?
Yeah, there's a white one. Is that?
Yeah,
Like
silver.
go inside.
Does it say soapbox on the front of the door?
Let me go check because I'm opposite it.
Chill, you're baiting out our location, bro. Have you seen that tweet? Yeah, that was like, when I'm in a place, like
You didn't post the
I don't
location
post on top of it.
because ops come.
Yeah. Who are you,
This
bro?
episode's gonna come out in a week.
It should say soapbox on the front.
What's that food thing called?
There's a food truck in front of the door.
It's,
I can't lie. I'm not too aware of my surroundings when I'm coming here, bro. I just know where I am. innit?
Yeah, because it's like muscle memory.
Yeah,
innit?
like I don't really look at what's.
Fairs.
Yeah, like I just
Someone
know.
should be coming out to get you soon.
Okay.
Okay,
I'm
bet.
just gonna-
hi Hannah.
Hello, madam.
I'm late.
Yeah.
Nah, you're good. Anyway, yeah.
Sit. Yeah, you can sit anywhere. You can sit anywhere.
Anyway, you're comfortable,
Anyway,
man.
comfortable.
You look nice. Nice hair.
Thank you.
How long did it take you to do the braids? Like 9 hours.
I did this in Nigeria.
Fairs.
Fair enough.
They've
So
kept.
they had like 3 people doing that at the same time.
Oh my word.
Service back home is amazing.
Fairs.
Service back home is different.
And it was
Nice.
like
Yeah.
£12.
Oh.
Yeah.
Did you
Fairs,
tip them?
Yeah, of course.
Do you want to come on camera?
Do you want to say hi?
I'm scared.
You can come on camera, say hi, and then go.
Literally. Hi guys, and then go.
Yeah.
But that was so awkward. I'd
No-
be like,
no
"Come
forced-
say who I am, like.
Nah, not really.
Nah, not really.
It's up to you, innit? If you don't want to, you don't have to.
Maybe when you settle down, you're comfortable, you can come and sit down.
You guys are doing 2 episodes, right?
Yeah.
We just started the first one.
Yeah.
So I was talking about. You said, it could be used as evangelism, innit? Something
Yeah,
like that.
evangelism, bro.
It creates a comfortable
Yeah.
kind of like
Okay,
mood, innit?
we'll start now.
Yeah.
Go on.
Yeah. So exactly that. I've realized that you can relate to so many people in so many different ways. And that's something that I've actually been trying to do more. Not even necessarily as a form of evangelism, but it's just more so like, I think sometimes as Christians, we try and be too mysterious with everything, bro. Like, we don't really, I feel like we're always thinking like low key, like how can I spin a certain conversation to evangelism instead of just
Yeah.
talking to people, if that makes sense. Like when I started the job that I'm in right now, the job that I'm doing part time in it. So I was talking with my trainer. My trainer, she's Muslim. She's from Bangladesh or whatever, and she was asking me just about like, she asked me like, just what do I do in my spare time in it? Like what do I do in my spare time? I'm like, oh yeah, I got Christian podcasts, blah blah blah. She said, I said I got a podcast, and she said, what's the podcast about? Just saying what it was about. And she said, you talk about your faith that much, like I love it and all that kind of stuff. I
It's
was
gonna be
just like,
easy though. What you want to talk about? Call yourself, man.
But I was just realizing, like, in years previous, I would try and spin normal conversations to evangelism, and I feel like people sometimes can see through that. Like, you're not really just enjoying conversation with people, if that makes sense, and just trying to relate to them on a what's it called? On a sincere kind
level,
of,
bro.
on a personal level as access, and just in a sincere vibe. Like, I feel like these days I've had a lot of proper deep conversations because I've had more of a sincere heart in terms of like just wanting to talk to people and actually wanting to know them, not necessarily being catty to, okay, you said this. Let me tell you about the gospel kind of now. Do you get what I mean? Like, I feel like people can see through that stuff, and it's not authentic, it's not sincere, and I feel like it just.
And one thing
It's not effective.
I think I read it the other day. Saying like you can't really expect like non-believers to act anything else but non-believers. Like you can't expect them to act as Christians. So when you see them doing certain things or saying certain things or like acting a certain way, you can't come on a vibe of like, that's wrong.
Yeah,
You can in it, but you can't because like that's what they know.
That's
innit?
what they know.
Like their eyes haven't been.
You can't be shocked.
Yeah, you can't be
Nah,
shocked.
you can't be shocked at what they're
surprised
doing,
when
yeah.
a non-believer is doing non-believing things, bro. You know what I'm saying? That's why like it's important that, as you said, yeah, if I'm trying to like chat to someone or relate to someone on a genuine level, you have to get to know. You have to build a relationship.
you have to.
Because I remember I can't remember who said it, but it was one of the episodes before. It was like how do you expect to like people to come to you and actually take you in and take advice from you and whatever if you haven't really like allowed there to be some kind of familiarity.
Yeah.
That word. It chings me all the time, you know. Familiarity.
I ain't even gonna try.
Because like, why would I believe or taking what you say? Because we're cool in it, like we've been cool for such a long time, so I know that you got my best interests at heart.
Yeah, exactly.
Why would I take what you say?
You gotta build rapport. That's what it is.
Yeah, like if
It's gotta be
flipping,
genuine.
like doctors and patients, bro.
Yeah.
Like obviously the patient knows that the doctor knows more. In our case, we know the answer, innit?
Yeah.
Christ. Yeah, by God's grace we know the answer,
Yeah.
And we're trying to give them the answer. But the doctor, even the way that they will go about it with the patient, the doctor isn't gonna well, I do pharmacy in it, so we like when we're learning, you know, studying or whatever, they always tell us like you have to kind of put medical jargon into normal words for normal people to understand.
To them.
A doctor isn't just gonna come to the patient and straight up, oh, you have tuberculosis. Like the way that they'll go about it, they have to build a rapport. The patient has to trust that the doctor actually has the best interest at heart.
Yeah.
So if I'm telling you that you have TB, then it's me telling you this because I want you to get better. Not me telling you oh, you have TB, you're gonna die. Do you get my point? Because like, if I'm coming on like, I know so much more than you as a doctor. So whatever I tell you, you have to take it.
Yeah.
Bro, the patient, as much as I need your help, you're probably just gonna brush the doctor, bro.
Literally.
Or like, you're gonna be even more scared. That's where it comes into like fear evangelism or whatever you wanna call it. Like,
I hate fear evangelism.
bro. If you don't, obviously, I don't know. Maybe there's time for that. I don't know.
I was reading in the book. I found it really funny because it was so funny. So I was on Instagram like just the other day, innit? And then this guy, some guy, and it was a Christian guy. He's just recording in it. Someone who was like doing street evangelism, and they were doing more of like that fear kind of evangelism in it. And then he put like on the story, spreading the good news of some prayer emoji and that purple Christian emoji, that purple cross emoji or whatever. And can't lie, I was like, not really feeling this, innit? And then funny enough, like an hour later, I was reading a book. It's that same book I've been plugging for bro. I've been plugging this book for like 2 months. Yeah.
What's this book?
It's called How to Live and Love Like Jesus.
So you don't listen to the episodes.
You're not listening to the episodes, bro. I brought that.
Is there internet error trail, bro? When did you bring it up?
Fair.
Did you bring it up?
Fair. Good, bro.
You can't, bro.
Try to defend
It's
yourself. But yeah, and it was talking about like how the man said he was walking on the road and he heard like that kind of fear kind of side of evangelism in it, and then he was saying like people tend to say at least someone's getting the message around in it, but he was like, I tend to believe that they're doing actually more harm than good, even with the message. And I was like, I agree with that. I can't lie. Like I feel like I do agree with that in the sense that it's not just about the message; it's how it's being delivered. If that makes sense. So that's just something I kind of read.
Even like like I was there was this preacher and he was talking about like just doing things the way Christ would do it, like living a life like Christ, innit? And like the way that it was Derek Prince, and he was like, and I was thinking about like the way that Jesus spoke about the good news, salvation, like even his conversation with Nicodemus, like he didn't like, he spoke about separation from the Father, he spoke about how he spoke about eternal life, but he didn't have that condemning tone to what he was saying. Like if anything, the chunk of John 3 is a lot about love. So it's like there's a way you can evangelize without having to do the whole you go to hell. Because like even for me, like when I chose to believe in Christ, it wasn't to save myself from going to hell. Like it was just because like Christ really loves me. Do you get what I'm trying to say? Yeah. And it's important in the beginning because like the way you come to know Christ in the beginning, it kind of like you kind of have like a way of talking, a way of learning that you kind of carry with you. So if you're looking at Christ as the person that's going to save you from hell, then like the most of what you do, you listen, the way you speak, it's going to sound that kind of that kind of message you have in it. But if you know Christ because you just love him, like you just love that he loves you, like the way you speak to people, the way you do things, it changes. So that just came to mind.
I was gonna say like even you saying that, like that's something that I've just kind of been like just kind of deep in this year. Like Jesus, like everywhere he went, like he was just relating to people. Like that was his vibe. Like he just like he met Nicodemus from where he met him. Like he spoke to him from where Nicodemus was at. Yeah. If that makes sense. He spoke to Nathaniel from where he was at. Like he spoke to people. He picked them up from where they were at. He weren't trying to bring all of himself to them, if that makes sense. And that's something that I've kind of realized this year, and that's what I've trying to walk in a bit more. Like these days, like I love bringing, like I have more confidence, like in myself, if that makes sense, in just being me. Like that's a lot of the way I try like get the message of God across, if that makes sense, by just trying to be me. And I feel like it's so much more authentic, and it just feels so much more genuine from being there. Like, bro, the other day when I was preaching at church, bro, I looked on stage, I'm wearing a hoodie, I'm wearing these baggy trousers, bro, I'm wearing some Asics, bro. And someone was coming up to me like, bro, what are you wearing? But I was like, I kind of love that. Like I can bring my personality, or we can wear our personality in Christ. And I think our personality is probably one of the most beautiful things about us as people. And it's trying to, how do we show people Christ from who we are, if that makes sense. That's something that's kind of been in my mind all of this year. So I'm gonna ask you guys a question. Like, do you think there's because obviously people talk about modesty and all that kind of stuff. Do you think there's a right way to dress as a Christian? Do you feel like me being on the pulpit in a hoodie, baggy trousers, Asics, and a fitted cap is crazy?
There's context in it. Like with every situation, like you gotta carry yourself some wisdom. Like have some context. Like if I'm at church now and I'm sharing to like the 13-year-olds, 12-year-olds, I'm gonna come in a 3-piece suit and tie with a handkerchief in the pocket sort of thing, you know what I mean? Like I'm gonna come like normally like in a tracksuit, maybe jeans and a shirt, like something that makes them comfortable. Do you get what I'm trying to say? Yeah. Like without compromising like what I believe in. I'm not gonna come dressed in something crazy with a crazy slogan or crazy graphic on my shirt, you know what I mean? But then like if I'm gonna go share now with like the adult service, I'm gonna come in a shirt, maybe a tie, but like shirt, trousers sort of thing. Like it's just about like being able to be comfortable, but also make others comfortable as well. But like striking a balance, because you don't want to be
even on that. Like I love what you said, that it's a balance of being relatable, but what do you say? Balance of being relatable.
Like just being comfortable, but then being comfortable as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So a lot of people say, like, I remember like, I was watching a sermon and talking about, bro, like if you're so holy, like it was encouraging to walk in holiness. It's probably one of those Insta TikTok clips in it, because I'm not gonna speak about who was preaching. But anyway, what's it called? It was one of those Insta TikTok clips, and it was talking about, if you walk in this level of holiness, people shouldn't be comfortable with when you're in the room or whatever kind of thing, like because of their sin. Like you're so holy, they're not comfortable with their sin. So I'm gonna ask even both of you, like, to what extent should people be able to relate and be comfortable with you, if that makes sense?
I think, okay, before you even answer that, like even the question on like the wearing a fitted cap, a trackie up there, like I think as Nap said, like there has to be a level of wisdom used. There has to be there has to be a level of wisdom used, because it's like, as much as we want to be comfortable and relatable, sometimes you do have to compromise that a little bit so that the gospel can be reached to others. For example, like if I go to Africa and I'm trying to reach certain people, I know that a lot of them are not taking me in. For example, let's say if I have an earring. So let's say I'm in a certain space and I have an earring, and I have an earring.
I see you're cooking.
Yeah, and I have an earring, and I have an earring, and I know that a lot of them are very old-fashioned, traditional, and I come and stand there, and I'm wearing a fitted cap with an earring. As much as I might be like very knowledgeable, as much as they might even be very Christian, a lot of them are still human, so
Yeah,
they have a preconceived idea
Idea,
notion of what that means, innit?
Yeah.
So then in my position, then I have to say, okay, cool. As much as I'm comfortable with this, taking out the earring isn't that deep.
It doesn't. It's not
So it doesn't hinder the gospel
Stumbling
being preached.
block, like,
so it
that's
doesn't,
what you don't
so
wanna
it
be a
doesn't hinder
stumbling block.
the gospel being preached, because like obviously we're in the Western world, so it's not as prevalent, innit?
Yeah.
I'm using bare words today, bro. Like prevalent.
Just accent here, bro.
I'm using bare big words and that. But yeah, like, because we're in the Western world, it's not as prevalent. So like people don't really mind if, let's say, the pastor's wearing jeans and maybe a shirt, and you know, obviously African churches, they like their suits, they like their
That's how they are, innit?
Like, sorry to interrupt, but when I went Ghana last April, innit? So cool. My fashion sense is a bit different to my brother, innit?
Yeah.
He's more of a
He's more black.
He's more black. He's on Dior.
Oh, yeah.
He's on all the LV, all those graphic T-shirts, you know, Chrome Hearts, Rude, all of those brands, like
No,
all of
Scott,
those
man.
things, innit? Yeah, shout out Scott. So obviously, I went. What's it called? So we're dressing for church, innit? So I was wearing maybe like a linen shirt, maybe like a sandy color, maybe like a linen trousers, and then maybe like some sandals, innit?
Yeah.
Can't lie, sandals with my toes is kind of crazy, but hey, anyway. So obviously Scott is like unloading the suitcase, innit? He's about to go into the ironing board, innit? So I'm with my older cousins here. Takes out this graphic tee, these essentials bottoms. My cousin was like, no. He's like, my uncle's an elder in the church. He's like, my cousin's like, you are not wearing that. You are not wearing that. My brother has nothing in it. All he has is ripped jeans in it. Like, oh, ripped jeans, calm. They're like, nah.
No.
You gotta find something in it. Obviously, my brother's kind of stubborn. He was like, bro, like, I wanted to feel comfortable in what I'm wearing, innit?
Yeah, because I feel like it's calm, like, but if we're in a position of leadership or like a position of power or responsibility, it's our job to kind of like show a certain way.
Yeah,
I think that's
he was getting hella dirty looks at church.
I think that's where it comes from, innit? Because like, just to avoid all of that, because some things like it's very unavoidable. Like if you know that you're gonna wear certain things, and you're gonna like look a certain way, and it's just gonna cause commotion. Like sometimes for the sake of peace and for the sake of like the gospel message being the reason why people come there, instead of it being the focus being on you, then just stop. Don't do that. Do you know what I'm saying? That's why like I feel like a lot of times, especially in the church setting, I don't think it's as much now, but like maybe like as we were younger and growing up, bro, the idea of like dressing a certain way to church was very important. And I think it is important, innit? I think it shows a level of seriousness. Do you know what I'm saying? But at the same time, it's like obviously all things are lawful, but not all things are expedient, or all things are beneficial. And I think that's what it is. Like, you can wear what you want to wear. Like, you can wear the cap, you can wear the trackie, you can wear the this, the that. But like, is it really going to be beneficial in the space that you're going to be in?
You have to be aware of where you're at.
Because as much as, cool, we want to be relatable, how much is too relatable?
That's what I'm saying.
How much is, okay, cool, now you're just dragging it a little bit. Now you're just trying to be a bit too much like them, because like, we're set apart, innit? Yeah. And that doesn't mean that, you have to dress in a suit, you have to wear a turtleneck with a gold chain, and you have to wear like a ring on your index finger. I'm not saying that, innit? It doesn't have to be that.
Where does the ring come from?
Greeny.
I wore it to the ocean, innit? I felt cool, innit? But it doesn't have to be that, innit? But there also has to be a level of wisdom. And don't get me wrong, like, sometimes you might wear little jeans to church, sometimes you wear a t-shirt, sometimes you wear a suit, innit? But that doesn't mean that, if you don't wear a suit, then you're this second rate. No, I'm not saying that, but let's just be very wise. in the because every single place that you go to might require different you, but it's still you, innit? It's from the same source. It's from the same source, but it's like different branches, innit? It's like from the same tree, but different branches. Like, so everybody can see that's the blueprint. That's you. Yeah. But the person that has come to you now is more compassionate, more loving, because I need you. You need me to be that at that point in time. That person that's come there has become more patient, more, listen, I understand more, because that's what you need me to be there. But that's all me, because they're all from me. So that's why we have to be very careful, because when we look at Christ, like if we look at how he was with, let's say, the Samaritan woman, when he was saying that, I know you've been with five people, bro.
Guys, bro.
He got onto her, but when he was with the adulterous woman, and then he drew on the floor.
Yeah.
He didn't get onto her like the way he got onto the.
He told her don't sin
again.
But that's when everyone was gone as well.
Yeah, he was like, where are your accuses?
But when everybody was there, he was like,
it was calm.
Anybody here who hasn't sinned, throw the first stone. So we have to be very careful to understand that we can be relatable to everybody in that sense, but sometimes it requires a level of wisdom to navigate which places in which require me to be like this and require me to be like that. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Like in terms of like, I think as a Christian, in my opinion, I think the thing that makes us so, the things that set us apart, and the thing that can make us so impactful in our world is our ability to relate to people. Because, for example, as a Christian, there isn't, for example, Muslim women, there's some traditional attire that they wear. And I feel like even my work colleague, like I said, because she wears traditional attire to work, and she says like she feels like her traditional attire is like even though she loves it, she always feels like because there's some preconceptions about it. So it feels like there's a natural like hindrance between her and someone else, if that makes sense. Whereas a Christian, because there isn't some natural way to dress, I feel like there isn't that natural level of hindrance, if that makes sense. So I'm talking about like, I think as a Christian, one of our biggest skills is to relate to people, or to be relatable. And I think in recent times, especially recently, like things I've been seeing on social media and stuff like that, I feel like some people are trying to step away from our ability to relate and speak to people. And I feel like it worries, first of all, it just rubs me the wrong way. Pause. But like, it just like, I feel like it's so beautiful that the thing that sets us apart above everything is our conduct, is our speech, is us as people. And I hate to see when Christians try and be almost too set apart, where it feels like there's a boundary between you and two people, you and another person, if that makes sense.
Bro,
like Jesus, like you said, Jesus was always trying to almost bring people on his level, if that makes sense. Like Nap said at the beginning with Nicodemus, like he said with the adulterous woman, like he always did things to bridge the gap. Even if I think about the adulterous woman, when he stooped down low, it was like a form of him kind of bridging the gap between him and her, if that makes sense. And
he got closer to her.
do you get what I mean?
You know, with like adulterous women and that back then, you don't get close to them.
Exactly.
Like, you don't get close to people with leprosy.
Yeah,
the 10
exactly,
people with leprosy. Like, bro, like
Jesus always trying to bridge the gap, and I think that's something that
we have to do.
We have to do. But I feel like some people, and like you said, we do have to be set apart. But some people are, like I said, going back to the quote from that guy, innit? Your level of holiness should make you feel like nobody can be next to you.
But that doesn't even make sense.
You know what it is, yeah? Like, that don't make sense, because I get what you're trying to say, but it don't make sense because, like, Jesus, like, best example of holiness, he was everywhere. Like, he was with the fishermen, he was with the doctors, tax collectors. Like, in fact,
tax collectors aren't tax collectors nowadays, bro.
Exactly, yeah. Back then, like,
man were like,
back then, they used to walk around. They used to go around the Roman soldiers and like take what they wanted, sort of thing, innit, and take extra for themselves.
Yeah.
And it's like, even reminds me of the story of the guy on the tree, the midget on the tree. I forgot his name. When he climbed the tree.
It's Zacchaeus?
Zacharias. Zacharias, innit? Yeah.
So it's Zacchaeus.
It's Zacchaeus, bro.
It's Zacharias.
People,
I'm telling you now.
Zacchaeus, bro.
Let's check.
Zacchaeus is
Zacchaeus.
That has no biblical principle, bro. It's Zacharias.
Bro, it's Zacchaeus, bro.
Zacharias.
Let's see, man.
Is it Zacchaeus?
Zacchaeus was chief tax collector at Jericho in the Bible. I hear you, man, bro. Yeah. Trying to buzz my thing.
Nah, bro, I was with you, bro.
Pass this kid. Fair enough.
The bag is different, bro.
The bag is different,
It's different.
But yeah, his story, like, guy was a tax collector, and like Jesus went to eat with him, sort of thing. And like the whole principle of like being so holy that it rattles, like, you're not trying to rattle the person. Like, we're talking about like sin and like even whatever. Like, that's what you're rattling. It shouldn't be the person that you're rattling. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, someone that has like a sinful person, like, should feel drawn to someone that's holy. Do you know what I'm trying to say? Yeah. Because like that's their peace. Like, when you're holy, like, as much as like you have this glory and around you, that there's also the fruits of the spirit that you have around you. Like, there should be a meekness around you. There should be a lovingness around you. Like, people should see you and be like, how can I get so close to him, but like I'm such a sinner? Like, that's how they felt about Jesus. Like, they were able to like speak to him and whatever, and like he's claiming to be the Messiah as well. Like, he didn't understand what was going on. So it's like, the whole principle of like the whole idea like just being holy enough that you rattle or change your room or whatever. Like, yes, our kingdom, the Bible says, isn't it, Corinthians, like we're not a kingdom of mere words, but of power and authority. Yes, but it's like power and authority, but there's love and there's so much other things as well that you should carry yourself with. Like those kind of statements, like they just seem so kind of like fickle to me. Like it don't move me. It doesn't show Christ. It doesn't, like, if anything, it's like it's self-indulgent. Like, why is it that when you have this holiness around you, why is it that you change your room or whatever it, like, I don't know, man, there's a balance that's not there. Do you know what I'm trying to say?
Because, bro, even when we read 1 Corinthians chapter 9, 19 downwards, this is Paul talking, right? He said, even though I am a free man with no master, I have become a slave to all people to bring many to Christ. When I was with the Jews, I lived like a Jew to bring the Jews to Christ. When I was with those who followed the Jewish law, I too lived under the law. Even though I am not subject to the law, I did this so I could bring to Christ those who are under the law. When I am with the Gentiles who do not follow the Jewish law, I too live apart from that law so I can bring them to Christ. But I do not ignore the law of God. I obey the law of Christ. So there's obviously a level of like relatability that Paul has shown into all, with the Jews, with the slaves, with the people under the law, with the Gentiles and da-da-da. So I think there has to be the balance of like, we can relate to them on the cool. Like, I'm not trying to get onto you necessarily. Like, I can, for example, people that love to, like, I don't know, jam baz or something, people that love to just do things that are very immoral. We're not saying go and do the stuff that they're doing.
Because you have to keep the law of Christ. Like,
because
keep the law of Christ.
As Paul said, he does all of these things, but he does not ignore the law of Christ. I obey the law of Christ. So whilst we're trying to relate to these people, you have to ask yourself, whilst trying to relate, are you still keeping the law of Christ whilst doing this? Because if you're telling me that you trying to relate to unbelievers means you can go and do immoral stuff just as they are, then you're just coming, you're just being,
that's not related to people.
That's not related to people. Nah. That's conforming. That's conforming. There's a thin line between relating and conforming. Don't cross that.
When Paul is saying that, you know, for the Jews, you became like a Jew. It's so that, as you said, like, they can come and talk to you about anything. Because you're like them, like, in the sense of, like, they don't feel like you're some outsider. Even though you are an outsider in that sense, they don't feel like you're an outsider where, like, oh, if they're going through something, they can't come and chat to you because, if I go and tell Square, if I go and tell Naps, they're going to look at me a certain way, or they're going to tell me, move, or they're going to tell me, pattern up. Like, there has to be that level of, as you said, love, patience, where, like, even though they can clearly see that you're very different to them, and like they can clearly see that you're not doing what they're doing, that they can still relate to on a level of like, you know what, this is someone that I can go to because I know he has my best interests at heart. And that's where it goes back to me talking about the doctor and the patient. There's a patient-doctor confidentiality. Ooh, good word. Because they build rapport. Like as healthcare professionals, you have to build rapport with your patients, because it's not a thing where this patient might be your patient for like 15 years. They can't get to a 15-year relationship without there being some type of rapport, some type of relationship. And the same way with us when we're dealing with unbelievers. Because at the end of the day, bro, we're not bringing new believers into the faith. We're supposed to bring unbelievers into the faith, bro. Like, we're not here to we're not just trying to evangelize to someone else in another church to come to my church. No, that's not what we're here for, bro. What we're here for is to bring people that are not in the church inside the church. And to do that, there has to be a level of, cool, I can come down to your level in the sense of like, you can chat to me about what's going on. You can chat to me about,
meet them from where they're at.
I can meet you from where you're at without me making it. Because, bro, like, you have to be humble. And humble isn't on the fake humble of like, I know I've got this, but I'm going to pretend I don't have it. Not like that. Brushing it. But humble in the sense of like, everything that you have is like, it's showing that you're coming from the standpoint that it's from Christ, innit? And you're trying to show Christ in whatever you're doing. So that patience, bro, some people, they might take 6 months, a year to come to Christ, but you have to stick it out. That's where long suffering comes in, perseverance. And you know, all of these things, we just have to kind of like pray for the wisdom and pray for the understanding of how to navigate each and every individual, because everybody's going to be different. Some people, they might look the same. Their situation might be the same, but there might be one little thing that changes everything. So if you just approach it like, I'm him, I'm lit, and then you go and chat to my man and chat to whatever, then you're done, innit? Because now now you've created a barrier where they can't come and trust you. They can't come and. So I think the relatability there, and it even shows even in the way that you might dress in that, because like they might think that cool, he wears trackies just like me, so I can chat to him. You know,
I went to a church. With Naps and Bien time ago. Yeah, pastor was wearing a dry fit. And I think it was wearing a dry fit and Reacts or some. I was like. And that was because Naps ain't been to that church before. He was like,
I haven't been to that church before.
Who's the pastor? I was like, the guy in the drive-thru. He's like, But I can't lie, for me, I liked that. Like,
I don't mind it.
And especially because of the community he's in.
Yeah, and
I
the
assume everyone
age group
likes
as
that
well.
because it feels like they know that this guy is he has a level of wisdom that's definitely above theirs from the years he's been through from his fellowship with Christ. But it's like, he's just like me in some sort of way. Do you get what I mean? Like, that relatability. And I think, like I said, like, bro, like, I feel like I'm turning into Bien this year, bro. The way I'm starting to have like agendas and things are starting to bug me so much more, bro. Like, because I've been seeing like, and to be fair, I can't lie, I used to think like this, like, when you become more mature in Christ, you almost lose a level of, you're meant to lose relatability. You're meant to be so, a bit like what my man said, you're meant to be so different, like, where like, no one can chat to me almost. It's just me and my father, as people were saying, that kind of thing. And I have an agenda against that so much. Like, I've realized that I can't believe I used to think that way, because for me, if you're maturing in Christ, I think you become more relatable. For me, a person who's maturing in Christ, I feel like you become,
you draw people towards you.
People are able to draw towards you. People are able to communicate with you more. People are able to understand that this is someone I just want to be around, if that makes sense. Like, that is the core of someone who's growing, because looking at the life of Jesus, and we keep on speaking about this in a lot of episodes, and maybe that's why we're going to have a men's event that speaks about the life of Jesus.
Just clear
but it's like, a lot of his ministry was teaching. I keep on saying a lot of his ministry was teaching. It definitely was.
A big bulk of it was
But a lot
teaching.
of it was actually just him walking to a wedding. Him walking to, again, seeing a random brother in a tree. Him speaking to an adulterous woman. Like, I've started to realize just how much of Jesus' life was just speaking to some people today, people who maybe you feel like they're maturing in faith, they couldn't speak to because they've grown so much and all of that. And I'm just thinking like, bro, where did we even get that? Where did we get that idea from, where like you get to a point where you're so holy that you only speak to people in ministry now, bro. You can't. You speak to people in ministry, but then your congregation.
You're not really throwing the law of Christ there, bro. You're not going out to make disciples of all nations. Because that's another thing. To be able to like bring souls into the church, I think is the easier part. Because bringing someone into church, but maintaining them in the church.
100%.
Making disciples of the person is hard. That's where relationship comes into it. That's why churches have like follow-up teams and like they have all of these, I don't know, new believers and all that stuff that,
right way,
are there to kind of like allow you to understand that you're not by yourself. And for someone to come into the church or into the faith and think that they're not by themselves, there has to be a level of relatability. Because you can't have someone, let's say for example, I can't go and chat to someone who has a flipping PhD in pharmacy, right? Because they're just a professor of pharmacy, unless they can come and relate to me on my level.
Unless they're talking about
bro. Like, you're there teaching about molecules and this, that. I'm just there. I don't understand what you're talking about. But if you can understand that, bro, for me to get to where you are, you have to be able to come down to me, bro. Because I can't come to where you are. You're way too high for me, bro. So it's like, you have to come down, and you coming down, there has to be a level of like, cool. As I said, the medical jargon, like, this is what this means. What I'm saying, this is what it actually means in this sense. So that I can say, oh yeah, I hear what you're saying. How can I apply it now? What are the practical steps I can do? So but if I can't do that, then if he can't do that, I'm just gonna say, brush this guy, bro. He has no plan for me. He has no plan for me at all, bro.
So I'll ask both of you actually. How do you guys come down to people?
Whoa.
Come down to people. That's not crazy. That's not crazy.
How do you guys
come down to people?
Alright, cool. I get what you're saying.
Hey, renewal of your mind,
to
bro.
answer your question,
Like, how do you get from? Because I'm not saying like you guys are warriors of the faith or whatever.
How do you become more relatable?
Maybe I am, bro.
How do you become more relatable?
Maybe we all are.
I'm joking.
Now, my
kingdomship, bro. Kingship and dominion.
Word.
I think,
bro.
I think the way that I look at it is like, I just
Like, how do you genuinely do it?
How do
let me come with
this is lig. Like, for me, first off, I just need to know that the difference between me and a non-believer is a spiritual difference, innit? Like, the change that happened for me was a spiritual change, innit? So it's like, once I knew that, it was almost like the way I do things, the way I act, whatever it is, it's like, it was less burdensome. Like, I didn't feel the need to like speak a certain way when I was around people, because like the change is spiritual. Like, whether I like it or not, it's gonna show itself through the physical. Do you know what I mean? So like, what I would like, so that I had that in mind, like the change is spiritual when I'm talking to people. And then also, I had this thing where it's like, we spoke about personality earlier, where it's like, your personality is like, it's part of you, it's God given. You know what I mean? Like, I should be able to let that speak. And glory be to God, I think I'm a decent person, innit? I don't have any like crazy thoughts.
I don't know
like,
about that, bro.
I speak to people in a mad way or whatever. Like, I'm just kind of.
I don't know, behind the cameras, you might be a completely different guy, bro.
No, I'm a decent guy in it, so it's like, talk to people in a decent way, sort of thing, innit? Like, keep myself like as myself. Like, there's no need to pretend anything. Like, the change that's happened, it's happened on a spiritual level. So like, once I kind of understood that, it was kind of like, when I talk to people and like, say like, I talk to people that are still doing the things I used to do, like, I told them, like, be easy, like, I'm not gonna do that, but like, you know, that ain't right, innit? Like, even like, I don't even like, sometimes I don't even use Bible. It's like simple conversation, like really and truly, like, you do all of this and you sit down when everything's quiet and you think, rah, like, I'm wasting my time. I'm like, you have those moments, innit? And they're like, yeah, and I'm like, bro, like, don't have those moments then. Like, you gotta do stop that. Like, you just gotta speak to people like how I normally speak to them. You know what I'm trying to say? I didn't let the change and this whole idea of a new man, a new spirit, I didn't let all of that affect like my ground belief, like, of who I am as a person, like the things I like, the things I do. Do you know what I'm trying to say? Like, what I did let it do is carve off the things that are definitely not aligned with it. So like going out and stuff that are not with it, but like the stuff that I can still use for God, like the way I speak, my humor, like the interest I have, stuff like that. Like, I let it stay, sort of thing. I kind of kept myself grounded, but like by reading the word, but also kind of like knowing that the change is spiritual. It's a spiritual change. It doesn't mean that now I have to like change the way I walk or like the way I like. It's a spiritual change, innit? Like, whatever change spiritually, it's gonna manifest itself, innit?
Yeah.
So like, I'm gonna be more loving, I'm gonna be more patient, I'm gonna be more kind, I'm gonna be slower to anger. Like, all these things are gonna happen naturally itself, innit? I just didn't put the pressure on myself to like force these things to change. And like, so then when I went to talk to people, like, I don't think anyone can stand up and be like, oh, Naps did this and spoke to me in a way like this, whatever. So, you know, I hope I
don't know, man.
done well, innit?
I feel like I'm always on him though. I feel like I'm always on him.
That's
because I think we have to be able to like understand that you do have a personality, innit?
Yeah.
And even this personality that we have, like, a lot of it is God given. Like,
No, literally.
even the way that the interest I have and we talked about it like a couple episodes ago, like some of the ideas that we may have that are aligned to the way we are as people. We think it's us, but it's God. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of the way that we even act, the way that we react to things, that a lot of us give ourselves too much credit, as I like to say. But at the end of the day, like, if, like, yesterday I was chatting to some some woman. I was chatting to some she's actually a woman.
I can't lie, BN's affecting all you, man. You started with genders. This guy's talking about, I spoke to this person, I spoke to that person, I spoke to that person.
Better conversations, bro. I think it's Christ in me,
being
bro.
rubbed off, bro.
I've become more calm. I think I've become a bit more welcoming into conversations. Before I was very
Swear.
Yeah,
It's changed, bro.
You have to be, bro.
Bruh.
How can we relate if we can't have conversations, bro?
Oh,
I
no,
was talking
bro.
about on the train about how he's growing in patience.
Yeah,
Serious?
too much patience. Sometimes I think I've dragged it. But
Nah,
calm,
I remember one time he told us a story and he's like, oh man, am I bugging? Everyone was like, yes, you are bugging. When
Yeah,
he said
no. You're standing on business, bro.
Standing on
You're standing on business.
You get it. But I was chatting to this woman because she actually is a woman. Like, she's like nearly 30 and that, and she was just kind of asking me about.
How'd you get in a conversation with her?
What?
How did you?
She came and asked me for advice, innit?
Oh,
Just
yes.
call yourself. I don't know, man. Maybe there's more. Who knows?
Maybe there's more. It's crazy.
Maybe,
Continue.
But yeah. So when me and her were talking, yeah, and she just kind of asking me about like just certain things, like certain like acts that she's trying to stop, or like she's trying to fast more, and you know, asking me certain questions about the faith in general, innit? Now I know that like her maturity level in the faith isn't that like high. Like she's a baby Christian.
Yeah.
Let's put it that way. So like. Even a baby Christian, I don't know, maybe even not a baby Christian, maybe like not even a Christian, like getting to there. Maybe she's trying to get there, innit? And like from where I was, obviously I know that a lot of the things she was asking me about, they were just like wrong, like completely. It's black and white.
Yeah.
But obviously she might not know that, innit? And I have to, it goes back to me saying that don't expect a non-believer to do believer things. Like, expect a non-believer to do non-believer things. Expect a non-believer to ask non-believer questions because they actually just don't know.
Yeah.
And so then we have to be very patient and very understanding in that sense that if I'm talking to you as a person, I'm talking to you someone who's not in the faith, whose veil hasn't been torn off their eyes, and that you look at life a certain way. And I can't lie, there was a time where I probably looked at it the exact same way that you did. So remembering that, like I was where you were before, and because of the grace of God, I am where I am. So even showing that kind of level of patience, that level of like, cool, this question you've asked, it's black and white, but I have the patience enough to say, you know what, cool. Even like going the extra mile. If you have to send a 1 minute VN, do it, bro. Like if you have to send a paragraph, do it, because like you really want them to understand that you're there for their own good. Like you're not trying to get onto them, because a lot of the questions she was asking me and a lot of things that she might have said that she's doing or she wants to do and she's done and she might not want to stop doing and whatnot. In my head, I could say that no, as you said, like you find a way to just bring in Christ straight away. Oh, the Bible says this. What does that mean to her then? Nothing. It doesn't mean anything to her. So then I have to come on the vibe of like trying to, I can't like sometimes understanding why they think
the way they think,
why they do what they do. Because a lot of people, a lot of them do things that they do, not because maybe themselves, maybe things they've been through, maybe things that have happened to them, maybe things that they keep thinking about, maybe things that they've seen, maybe the things that they've been exposed to. And sometimes we don't get down to the root issue enough to actually help them. We just kind of see the things that have been shown, the things that have been presented, and now we're trying to
give them a Bible verse.
Give them a Bible verse. Oh, the Bible says that you should stay away from this, and just pray that God will do the rest. But no, like God uses us as vessels for a reason. He's allowed us to become ambassadors. An ambassador is someone who's the forefront for God, bro. Like you're a representative of Him. Like you're not just a messenger. Like you're a messenger, but you're not just like a.
That's not your only job.
Yeah, jump on the horse and give this letter to back in the old days, bro. They were sending messages on horse. I watch a lot of TV old school. But anyways, we're not just a messenger in the sense of like we have no inkling or no understanding of what's going on. Like the messenger,
you know what the message is.
We know what the message is. We
you're
know
involved. You're
what it's done to us. We know what it can do for you as well. So it's like when I'm chatting to you, I have to really understand why you're doing what you're doing, so that even when I'm now saying, you know what, this is what the Bible says, you know that I'm not just coming from a standpoint of like, oh, I'm getting on to you because what you're doing is man, or brother, what's that, brother? Like I'm not.
Have you not seen that?
What?
You haven't seen that?
I haven't seen
Bro,
brother.
when did it come out? I don't know.
Nah, this
This guy is on the other side of the world, bro.
You know them Twitter memes, like, and then like. He just says, brother, I'll show you after. So funny.
On the other side of the world.
I've been in a, I don't know, I've been in a box.
Been in the trenches.
I've been in the trenches,
so
bro.
funny. But yeah, like, so. For me,
I didn't even know Jose got fired. I came back.
Yeah, this guy, you're on the other side of the world, bro. You're actually on the other side of the world.
Yeah, cause I saw your tweet and I was thinking.
Yeah, I didn't know. I just saw a picture of De Rossi on the sideline. I was like, oh, what, like helping out or something. and then like, he was giving instructions. I was thinking, nah, let me Google it. And I Googled it.
What?
Like,
in Eritrea, there was no internet.
Huh?
There was no internet.
Like the only internet is like in businesses or internet cafes.
Fair,
There's no like home broadband, bro.
They live a different world. They live in a different world.
Bro,
you know? I think sometimes that kind of world
Martinelli shirt, bro.
I feel like sometimes that kind of world is easier to live in, though. Do you know what?
It is.
Because, bro, you're not exposed to too much.
But you know what it is? They have their challenges.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
True say. Because, bro, like, I'm thinking to
like
myself.
They look at us and they think, bro, like, how do you live like that? And then like, I look at what they go through, and I'm like, bro, how do you live like that? Bro,
literally,
like,
I'm thinking to myself,
Spider-Man meme, bro. Queen ain't drama.
because if I live like that, bro, I wake up, no internet, bro, like, what? That's crazy.
Peaceful,
to me.
it's a
It's
peaceful,
peaceful,
way of
innit?
living, though, slightly.
And I feel like you're not exposed to too much like baggage in it. But then at the same time, your life could also be very hard. So then, I'm not saying it balances out, but it's like, damn, yeah. But anyways, back to what I was saying. So it's like, chatting to this woman is just like cool, understanding that, it's not just me just giving you instructions. That's the thing. It's not just me. It's not me just trying to coach you, bro. It's not me trying to. Not me trying to say, yeah, do this. Then obviously there's a time for that.
Yeah.
But I think that before that, there has to be a level of a relationship built, bro. And that relationship being built, obviously, it's not always going to be like that, because even when, let's say, you're evangelizing in certain aspects, you're not always going to be able to build that relationship straight away, innit? But in times where you can, make sure you do, because like then when they like get planted in the church, they will stay, because it's not just about, this person, he brought me to church because he said that God loves me, and then now he's left me, and now I don't even know what he's on, and so let's make disciples, innit? Like, I think we've done a good job of bringing souls to Christ, and we're doing a good job. The kingdom is doing well, amen. But you have to.
The kingdom is doing well.
The kingdom is doing well,
bro. Good
But bro, like,
You get invited to a meeting, you're just gonna get invited to, bro. How you review a sign?
we could do better making sure that these people, like, they stay in, and staying in, that's where like the love of Christ is shown. Like through our patience with them, through our long suffering with them, through our love with them, through our going the extra mile, like going to see them, you know, doing things in place, doing things sometimes where like you don't really want to do it, because you know that if you do it, it will bring them closer to Christ. You do it. Like, these are the things that's when we start to show these things. But don't just come on you're a this, you're a that, because that doesn't mean anything to them. It means nothing to them.
And I feel like it's also just kind of like, I feel like there's always some kind of
You need to answer the question too.
Oh yeah. Fair. Okay, I'll ask that first.
Bro, this is so random.
How do I ask? How do I
So you ask like, how do you
go down to their level?
How do you meet them at their level?
I can't lie, I try and see the similarities I have in people more and more. I think that's what I do. Like, in terms of like, oh, you think this way, I think that way too. This is the way, this is the reason why I think this way. This is what's framed my thinking. What's framed your thinking, kind of thing. Like, I think that's probably the go-to way I do it now. Just like, why do you think, like what Crab said, why do you think the way you think, kind of thing? And kind of picking out similarities, but putting that the Jesus factor is what's framed my thinking, if that makes sense. Because I think it's just trying to like, now the way I see it is that where do we meet each other, if that makes sense? Like, for example, again, I'm just going back to this example at work, because I was having this bro. Imagine this bro. So this was the first day I was getting trained by this woman, second day. So we're just meant to do some training, whatever. It's turned into like a 3-hour conversation about faith. Just naturally. Like, I didn't even say much, but she was trying to get to know. I can't lie, I think I was learning from her more than I was teaching her, if that makes sense. Like, the question she was asking me, I was like, this is actually good. This is someone who's genuinely intrigued with what I'm trying to say. And I was thinking, like I said, I've been guilty at times of maybe not being intrigued from what they're saying, but just trying to wait for when I could wait for an opportunity
to pounce, bro.
Waiting for the opportunity to like
Victor Osman in a box, bro.
Nah, literally. And I was like, I'm actually learning from you, like, in the way like she was trying to understand why I think that way. I don't think she's met many Christians. Well, she's met Christians, but she's met the people who do fear evangelism and all that kind of stuff, and like because you're like, bro, like, you're kind of.
You know, it's crazy.
She said progressive. I was like,
no,
progressive.
But you know, it's crazy though. Like when you're the first person, or like you're one of the few people that actually speak like in a loving way to them, and you don't like do the whole fear factor thing. For them, it's like. They get confused. I never knew you could move like this. I didn't know it was like this. You know what I mean? Like, they start to.
She was generally bath.
And what it does is it opens their mind to like everything that they heard before. They dump it because they're like, okay, like maybe what I saw before was wrong. Like, it helps you. Like, it helps create opportunity for you, innit? But carry on.
Like, she was like, oh, bro, like, I never knew, blah blah blah. But like I said, like, I was learning from her, and that's what even like I started to pray about it more. I started to think about it and things like that. Like, she was very intrigued, and she was really trying to get to the bottom of why I think how I think, and not in a way of like testing me. It was more so like, oh, okay, this is what you've. And it wasn't even so much spiritual
jargon,
and it wasn't so much spiritual topic, if that makes, in the sense of like, it wasn't like, oh, you don't drink, why don't you drink? It wasn't like, oh, you don't have sex before marriage, why don't you have sex before? It wasn't like that. It was just talking about like just the way we see life kind of thing. And she was really like trying to understand. And now I've picked that up from people, like really trying to understand the way they see and where do we interlink, and trying to show them, I agree with this. I agree with what you believe. This is how I've got to that conclusion of believing this, and bring in Jesus. And then they relate, because they're like, okay, we both agreed with the same thing. Maybe your way of getting here was different, but if we both agree, then maybe the way you pick to get here is actually the right way of thinking that, if that makes sense. So that's kind of like where I've been at.
Sometimes it's not really about the amount of times or the amount of hours you pray and read the Bible, bro. Sometimes it's genuinely practical things, bro.
Very practical.
Like, bro, the other day, my little sister, bless her. Do you know that's the first time? That's the first time I ever used bless her. I don't know why I used it right now, but I'm feeling away. I'm feeling away today. But bless her in it, car. She's in uni now, right?
Yeah.
First year, and one of her exams she didn't do as well, and she was rattled. Like, she messaged me, crying.
First year.
She's just very like, you know,
she's a rookie,
she wanna do it. Should I pray for favor to get more grades? I was like, bro, like,
be easy, bro.
Yeah, be easy, but ask yourself, like, you getting that grade that you got, did you do everything that you had to do? She's like, yeah, I revised bare when I had to revise. I said, before the revision time, before like the couple of weeks that you revised, before that, were you doing everything you had to do? She was like, no. So I was like, it's not about the amount of time, because you can clearly see that there's things that you can change. Yeah. There's things that you can practically.
No, if I was her, I'll tell her, Jambaz more, bro. First year, bro, enjoy yourself, live yours.
First year when I heard that rumor that first year don't count, like you just have to like get over 30% or something. Bro, I was thinking,
change your life,
bro. It can't be, bro. I said it can't be, bro. I was walking to the library one time and I was thinking, nah, that faith. I was like, I have to ask someone in it. Like, I have to ask the teacher in it. Then I asked the teacher, and then she was like, oh, I know they say like that. And I was like, so it's true then? And she's like, yeah. And I was like, that's what I need to know. I went back to my room, didn't hit library.
323?
Huh?
Collision 323?
I was studying in my room, bro. No need to check 5 minutes in the library, bro. I do it in my room, innit? But yeah, I was shocked.
So I was telling her, bro, like, there's practical things that you can actually just put in place to get a better grade. It's not so much, oh God, change this grade, because you didn't put everything in for you to even get the grade that you want. So then I was like, so the same way with this, like, sometimes talking to people, obviously there's a grace that we get from praying, and there's a grace that God bestows upon us for us to even be able to talk to these people, and the wisdom and whatnot. But sometimes, bro, like, just be easy, be real, bro, like, just talk normally, bro. Like, as you said, like, sometimes I'm in a place, we're talking about football, bro. Somehow football turns into God, but that's not the intention.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, bro, like, the other day we're at Shakespeare with the man them. I'm with Flex, SK, all of these man, yeah, bro. We're just talking about whatever we're talking about. What are we talking about? We're talking about motion. Yeah. Talking about motion, innit? And how like one of them doesn't believe in saving. For example, like saving money, he doesn't believe in it. Doesn't believe. I don't want to say it just in case. Doesn't believe in saving money. Yeah,
that's crazy.
And then one of the other guys was saying, bro, like, how can you not believe in saving, bro? Like, he's just saying, bro, his philosophy is just get more money. So then we just talking a bit. We're talking a bit more. Then we start talking about girls and that, innit? And how like they have, because it went from saving. Yeah, we're talking about how one of them was saying that he has a lot of discipline in saving. But when it comes to girls, he has no discipline.
In terms of how much he spends?
No, just in general. Like, when he's saving, he saves.
When a girl's trying to chill him, he's food, innit? But when it comes to saving and every aspect of gym and every other aspect of his life, he's patterned.
I know, and then you must discipline.
Then bro, like, all of a sudden, they're asking me, Quabs, like, we know that you're quite disciplined. How? Then, as you said, like, now I can bring in the Jesus factor. But bro, if they're talking about saving, and I start saying, but as a Christian, you know, like, I feel like saving is so important. And
Can you imagine?
They start
Can you
talking
imagine
about,
though?
they start talking about girls, they have no discipline. I'm like, but bro, like,
free for
as a Christian,
fornication.
like, you have to be very careful.
Yeah.
You have to be, bro, they're just gonna say,
They would never
Rush
answer
my
my
blood
name.
on. What's my blood on, bro?
You're
But
not getting
because, like,
shouted.
I'm not saying that I was indulging in the conversation or having necessarily, but like, I was there, innit? I was present. And then when the opportunity came, bro, then I started saying, they're like, oh, bro, I said, bro, you just have to be able to navigate your non-negotiables and negotiables. You know that you saving is a non-negotiable. So when it comes to having spare cash, you're able to do that. But as Christians, I know that, doing certain things is a non-negotiable, bro. So if I'm even in that position, I shouldn't be there. Then one of the other men was like, that's why I don't even get into that position. Then before you know it, it just became a whole conversation about, this is what you should do. Build intimacy with God, da-da-da. But it started from saving, bro. Do you get it? So like, if I wasn't present, I was just trying to find an angle. Saving. Ooh, how can I?
You get tunnel. You get. No. You get.
You see that video when that guy just clicking?
That video I've seen.
I'm like, saving. What does the Bible say about saving? Money. Money belongs to God. Yeah. Hey, man, bro, but the money belongs to God though. Like, so I not saving, bro. Before you know it, they're just looking at me like,
you know, them guys always trying to. I think I saw a skit about like them guys are always trying to bring what their emotion into conversation. When they're like, them guys who are doing real estate. Hey, bro. I wouldn't even spend my money on that, you know. I'll put that down in
I'll put it down in a HMO. I'll put it down in a HMO. I'll make money from there.
But us Christians are like that sometimes.
You get tunnel vision when you try to find an angle in someone's life, innit?
Yeah.
Like when you don't let the spirit talk to you, or like when you're not listening to the spirit, like you just get so tunnel vision.
People just think you're weird though.
Yeah, no. Then again,
I don't want to. First, like, because you know when people say like, you're the only Bible someone can read, or you're the only Jesus that someone, not the only Jesus someone can see, but you're a representative of Jesus, all that kind of stuff. Like, if I see guys, because even like I said, when I hear those real estate guys talking like that, I just don't want to be like you. I can't lie, like, you might have emotion. I just don't want to be like that. I'm always having like some kind of ulterior motive in conversation, bro, and like trying to flex or trying to just be something.
Because you're not really there to help me, bro.
You're not even present. Like, you said something good in that about being present in the conversation. Guys who
you like that,
guys like that aren't even present in the conversation. Like, they're not really with people. And like, again, I was reading my book and it was talking about how Jesus was present in every situation. Like, he was present at the wedding to know the wine was finished. Now there needs to be something done. Do you get what I mean? Like, he was very present.
Offer a solution.
Guys like that guys who move like that as Christians, or even like talking about the real estate guys, for example, they're not present in conversation, bro. They're just trying to show themselves so much, and it's not attractive. Like, if someone, like I said in my example, even when I hear Christians like speak to me like that way, it's not attractive either. Like, if I always think in my mind, if I was an unbeliever, I wouldn't want to be like this. Like, this is not someone I'd want to be like. So like you said about just trying to be present and just genuine in conversations and just being real. Like, I think that's what it kind of boils down to. Like, just be honest, be real. Like, you are who you are because of Christ. So naturally, you don't even need to think of an ulterior motive. It will come out naturally because this is just your life. In the same way, bro, if you go and sit with Bukayo Saka, you're asking him about his life, he's going to bring up Arsenal football. It's what he does, kind of thing. It's the same thing. He's not itching. How am I going to bring up Declan Rice in this interview, bro? He's not thinking that way. He's just like, I play football, this is what I do. It's probably going to come up.
Because, bro, your whole life, as I said earlier, bro, like, it should be seen in every aspect of your life. It should reflect everywhere. So, like, when people are even talking to you, as I even use the example, they came and asked me, like, you're disciplined. Why is that? That's an aspect that I can use, but that's because it's true. It's true. It's part of me, bro. You know what I'm saying? If I wasn't disciplined, I wouldn't have had that angle. Do you know what I'm saying? So, like, that's why it's very important for us to make sure that we check every aspect of our life, because then it allows us to have so much, like, gateway to be able to talk to so many different kind of people. Because, like, do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think, like, hearing you man talk now, it just came to me, like, there's, like, with humans, like, we have this, every conversation is an opportunity to be relatable. Like, even when you talk with your own boys, like, you're talking because you want to be able to relate to each other. That's conversation, innit?
No,
Like, you don't converse with someone if you don't want to relate with them. Business meetings, whatever it is, you want to relate on something. So it's like when you talk to people, when people talk to you, like even when people come up to you and they're like, oh, like how you so disciplined, like really, like the man them know that you're in Christ. They know you're disciplined because of Christ. But it's like God or whatever it is, that there's a moment that's like building up to where you can be relatable and talk about that sort of stuff. And it's like people miss that point. Like when people tell you, oh yeah, like, nah man, I'm really struggling with like the going out thing. Like I just really want to go out on the weekends, like even the weekdays, I can't stay at home sort of thing. Now when someone's telling you that, they're not telling you so that you tell them, oh, don't do that, you know, you shouldn't be doing that. No, they're not doing that. They're telling you because they want to relate on it. And you look at what they're saying, like what can you relate with? You be like, cool, yeah, and I used to be like that as well. Like I used to want to go out, I used to want to do this and that, but then like things just changed for me. Like they're looking for a chance. Like every conversation, it exists. Like conversations exist to make people relate to each other. Like you're designed to be with another human. Like you're designed to have a wife. Humans are designed to be together, sort of thing. You know what I'm trying to say? Like you're designed to be able to,
bro.
Yeah, you're designed to be able to talk to each other, relate and have fun and enjoy. You know what I'm trying to say? Like we weren't made as like solitary creatures. Like we're meant to like be with each other and talk. So like the whole relatability thing, like just dawned on me. Like it shouldn't be an opportunity for you to like show something about yourself, but it should be an opportunity for you to kind of like agree on something or come to a sort of like respectful understanding on something. Do you know what I'm trying to say? Like
whilst obeying the law of Christ.
Exactly, whilst obeying the law of Christ.
Trying to do things with certain people and that.
Oh, I had a question. I got a question in it. Where like maybe cool. What areas like in terms of relatability do you guys think that you need to improve on? Or like if you're perfect, then like that's good. That's a blessing, innit? You didn't say anything in it. But like I'll answer it as well. But like you man as well.
That's a good question. That's a good question.
I'll go first in it because I was thinking like this whole relatability thing. Like once I'm actually talking to someone, like there's no problems. Like being relatable like that, it's not an issue, innit? But like my thing is, like I don't really like taking the first step, or like, I don't really like talking to, not in a way like, not in a brushing off people kind of way. You can't do, wait, not in a brushing off people. No. I know what you're talking about. No. I just mean like I feel kind of like, are we done? We finished. Sorry, bro. We finished. Alright, see. So I don't know, like I struggle with kind of like I'm happy to listen to people, but like to go and talk to people first sort of thing, like I find it a bit, I struggle with that sort of stuff sometimes, innit? Like unless like I have some people that I talk to that like, it was like I got so stirred when I heard them speak, or like when I met them, I was like, man, I need to talk to them, and like I spoke to them in it. But like when that feeling isn't there, like just a normal like conversation, like to make friends or whatever, like sometimes I just think like I have enough, or like I had that attitude when I was outside of Christ anyways, innit? So then when I came to Christ, I realized that it kind of followed me as well. Like
you gotta change that, bro.
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe like, I'm not being relatable saying that, but you gotta change
No.
Like, why do you think that way, bro?
Huh?
Why do you think that way?
I don't know. Like it's one of those things where it's like, you know when you have a bad habit and like you never get rid of it sort of thing. Or like sometimes I think like maybe I never put it in front of God.
Service, bro.
Sometimes I think like I never put it in front of God, like, and because I never saw it as an issue. Do you get what I'm trying to say? Like sometimes you don't see something as an issue, you don't really bring it to God sort of thing. You just kind of ignore it. So like I didn't notice it, but like more time like the people I know and stuff, it's like someone's always introduced me sort of thing. Like I never really go out and like, you know, introduce myself sort of thing. And I noticed that, and I was like, it don't make sense, because like after the first lap, like I'm amazing, I'm decent at everything else, innit? But like it's just this first, like the start of the race thing, innit?
Bro, so you gotta go out.
Yeah, now you got, that's what I'm trying to say, innit? And like I've been working on it, that Eritrea, the month in Eritrea, I was working on it there, innit? But like I haven't had time to like practice it until now I'm back in it.
Practice, bro.
So yeah, so I'm telling you, man, now, innit? Because that's just something that I had. Accountability, man. Accountability, man. What a wonderful word.
What's my one? I guess just to be more there, innit? More present. I think my one is just like sometimes I just kind of just drift off. And I've told myself that one thing I'm trying to do better at is stewarding all of these things properly. Sharing it. Because I'm very much sometimes a lone wolf. Like,
full circle, you know, full circle.
No, like,
wow, how do you
that's
do
a straight
it?
up though. Like sometimes,
Wow,
I'm too to myself, innit? And
So
that's why
cool.
even I've been having more conversations lately. Like,
That's true.
You know what I'm saying? Been having
Changing, bro.
more conversations just to make sure that, as you said, like after that first initial step, bro, I'm there,
Still
man.
being there,
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But before that, I'm just very like just to myself. But bro, this is a thing where we have to go out. And
Yeah.
we have to do this. So you have to be uncomfortable, being comfortable. I don't even know if that makes what sense, but
I
it
hear it.
sounded
Sounds
good,
good, sounds
innit?
good.
you've been on a run, innit?
sounds like a- it sounds like a-
You've been on a run today, innit? So I'm not gonna say that, innit?
Should've
You've been on
taken
a
a
run,
pause,
innit?
bro.
So I leave it.
Sounded good, bro.
I think for me, lastly, to round up, probably just kind of growing in that, what I'm talking about, like just listening to people, understanding where they're from, trying to bring us together. Yeah, I'm still kind of growing in that. So it's something I'm happy in how I'm growing in that, because I wasn't like that before. But now I'm getting there, so
Yeah.
yeah, man.
Hey, but yeah, man, be relatable, man.
Progress.
But
Be
follow the
relatable.
law of Christ whilst doing it.
Yeah,
it goes.
Yeah, it
We'll be
goes.
there.